double-ish. There's not much left.
Yeah.
The middle was 22, but it's the same thing.
I know, he's
I think we got to do a better shot.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We had no correspondence, so we bring on to the report. Highway superintendent.
Well, we had a busy month for the highway department. We lost another employee. We still had one on benefit leave, but they hired two new ones. And the two new ones are working on getting their CDL permit. One thing I wanna ask the board about is, with the personnel situation that we have right now, I would like to be able to hire on an as-needed basis, operator to get us through the problem that we're liable to have if we don't have some people driving the truck. They only get paid for hours worked, no benefits, and I suggest we pay them like $20 an hour. I know there's money for the rest of this year, because of the amount of people we have working all year. We may need to add some money in for next year. Something that I really put out for your consideration. The roadside loan has been completed, and thanks to help from behind the solid brick dam, and all the winter sand is in the yard. They helped us out a lot. Potholes have been patched on all the roads, cleaning up all the fallen limbs, and branches and such. And we're working on putting millions on the shoulder drop offs on the Mountain Hill Road right now. We put pressure on in there several times and watched it out again. So usually with these millings, you get them rolled in there, they hold up. The new box for truck 9 won't be here until sometime in December. We did repair the old one to get us through until we can replace it. And we're getting all the trucks ready for the winter season. We did come up with some bearings that are working lower in the furnace, so that should get us through the winter now. And continue talking with FEMA every week. And Andy's still working on plans for the boarding road. And I'm working on the specs for a mid-sized truck to purchase as the ultimate project for the Winterfall Culvert on over the bridge. That's what we talked about prior. Better benefit to have that. It'd be a truck that would, well, be able to haul snow with it and use it to get the crew out on the road. Right now, with that F-550, we don't have this regular cab. And can't put 3 people on it. Can't everybody on the road. And if it breaks down, we have no other, no other means of getting the crew on the road. I do stuff like that. I did here a month or so ago. I drive my own truck. But that's still in the works. And once I know more about what it'll cost and what we're going to get for the other 2 projects, I will update you.
When, I believe you mentioned about $50,000 last year.
It's in that area. I don't know exactly. I spoke with FEMA. I think it was last week. When you do an alternate project, they knock 10% off what they cost the project off the fee to start with. 10% off the top, and then you get 75% of the 90%. And they're going to get back to me on whether or not the state still contributes that 12% on most of the project. I don't know exactly what the numbers would be
approve your, part-time hours, or is that something?
We have the resolution to,
And I did notice there was quite a few things that came out of the general 5132 for the highway. Is there a reason for that? I think it was, I think you submitted the vouchers, but for some reason they came out of the general. I'm just wondering if we had surplus money, if we're using it now.
I didn't do this voucher.
It's already,
A lot of them were crossed off and
I saw that the number started with 85132, so I just alerted Larry to process those vouchers that were supposed to be under the general, not the highway, because you have highway written up there. But as he's kind of looking at me, I'm actually looking at it.
so they're,
If we're talking the supplies, you're talking about getting high bids.
yeah, it's supposed, the garage contractual
yeah.
line, I believe, is the line it was.
that's what I'm just wondering, which I use as
The garage equipment, I believe you use
There
the
was,
saw, we saw.
the saws, the garage equipment, the other, supply basically was contractual line.
just know there were quite a few that came through this month, so.
Yeah, I believe anything that you buy from the employees for clothing, safety glasses, come out of the equipment line, correct?
The garage contractual.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the equipment.
because there's point two, which is equipment, and point four, which is contractual. So point two for the equipment would have been a saw you just purchased,
Yes.
and the point four would have been contractual for the safety vest.
I believe that's the way it is.
I'll take a look at them, and if there's any corrections, I haven't had a chance to take a look.
I'm just wondering if we depleted highway from that, or if we're supposed to be pulling from that for garage contractual and equipment. Because as I understand it, should be like windows and improvements on the actual garage, not pieces of article clothing for the employees that should come out of the highway. That's why I'm just checking to make sure you're doing, whoever's doing that right when they submit it.
Some things are built in, so I don't know, I didn't get to see exactly what we submitted, so I can't tell you just yet. But if there's any corrections to be made, I'll do them when I'm processing them. And ask Larry, I'm big at pointing out what needs to be fixed, so getting it fixed in the abstract. And did you guys want to pass a motion or on his proposal for hiring as needed drivers? Excuse me? Part-time, yep, $20 an hour. At the moment, just to give the board some idea.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
What were you going to say, Heather?
I was just gonna say, just to give the board a general idea, our general personnel line, which we're just about to run out of into November when we switch hours, we should have about $10,000 left in that line. And then when we switch over to snow removal, we have currently 101,000 still to finish out November and December. So we're plenty for funding there. But just as long as they meet all of the requirements,
Right.
obviously. And how many are you looking to?
It would be one or two at a time, it wouldn't be more than two at a time.
I didn't know if you were gonna hire a list of 5 people.
Well, what I'm looking at is trying to get a list of people that are willing to do this, because they're, everybody's got other jobs, so it's gonna depend on their availability, what they want, that's what I do.
So with being part-time, it's just the $20 an hour, that's, they don't get any other benefits,
No.
facilities, insurance,
Just,
nothing like that?
no.
Okay.
And that's just
They were-
until we have a
they
full
were
staff
5
of
hours a
CDL
day.
drivers. You know, once everybody's got their CDL, this list will.
Right, this will go away once we get, I mean, not even have to do it, like, get these guys, the licenses straightened out, that may not even happen, but I just wanna be ready in case
Right.
I have a problem.
I'm going to throw this discussion out there. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. You need to have a full staff. We talked about this when we were talking about the state and the county stuff. First off, these guys that are already there are getting less than $20 an hour. Realize that. Everybody in town, they're all getting less than $20 an hour except for your
junior equipment operator. So when you're taking somebody that's retired, say, and they're getting $20 an hour on top of that, that's not fair to our employees here. I'm gonna leave it at that because my husband works for the town, I just wanna say that. Second off, when we were talking about this, and we were talking about having a full staff, and I was concerned about us taking on the town of growth, that's the reason why. And you assured me that you would have a full staff. It is a lot harder than it looks like that, doesn't it? So that's all I'm saying, that you need to realize that when you come into this, that there's people that could have worked, we were looking at it from a rational point of view, and now you wanna come in and start adding people into the workforce, I don't think that's an option.
That's not what I said.
So what are you saying?
What I said was if there's not enough people there to drive a truck, in a particular snowstorm, I will find somebody to drive that truck.
At a rate more than what our guys are being
Your
paid.
guys are also getting benefits.
Full benefits.
No benefits.
Can I just get a minute too? Yeah, these guys are just coming in, no strings attached, $20 an hour, nothing else. Meanwhile, the other guys they should be in the process of getting their CDL, which they certainly are. And, up until this point, he has tried to hire people. And, so now he's working with the best that he's had. No, they're not flocking in to get the job. So now the people that he has hired, they're doing the best they can, doing the training to get their CDL. So meanwhile, at least he has a backup plan, a plan B, for guys to just come in that have a CDL, do it for $20 an hour, and the other guys are still plowing,
So what I'm saying is, looking at it this way, you could quit your job full time, take away all your benefits, and still be making more money.
you're only going to
So
get
that doesn't
part-time
make
at
any-
$20
But
an hour.
it's
That's
not
only
gonna be
gonna
on
be
call
$20.
basis though, it's not gonna
Yeah.
be like 40 hours a week this week. It's been on call basis, right? Whenever you need them, you're not gonna have them 40 hours a week, they're not gonna be making trillions here.
So the main guys that work for our town, full-time with benefit package, will be working their full-time with benefit package. These guys that he's talking about, he might just say, okay, come on in, I need you to plow for 3 hours, $20 an hour, $60 for the night.
And who's gonna do this? Don't let the woman.
My husband's office.
Yeah,
Years in a row.
Brian Deneen, he also is a retired, CDL driver. So that's up to Larry, he already has this guy lined up.
So are we looking to turn the town part-time?
No, we still have our full force of full-time workers.
So then why aren't these guys applying for the job?
They have other jobs already.
Yeah,
They have
these are
3 days
retired
off in a
guys.
row.
They don't want another full-time job,
What do you think people do when they retire, they go out and get another job for extra money?
just a little fill in part-time
Yeah, my
job.
husband got a full-time job and is already
Yeah.
offered to work.
A lot of people do that.
So that's all, if they end up getting their CDLs and they're able to work by the end of December, and we've had no snow events, so there was no reason to call them in. But if they haven't gotten their CDLs by that point and we have a snow event, we need a backup plan.
So I guess in the writing, so we're just talking about plowing,
Yeah,
nothing else.
So we could have a motion or a
So there would be
resolution
no
allowing that.
reason for anybody else to come in for any other reason except for plowing.
Would you like to do another motion to say that?
I mean, if we run to one person and we need something done that, somebody has to drive, because there's only one or two, say, people that can do it with
Currently,
CDL.
I have 2 people working with CDL license.
So that's what I mean, is that you're just gonna do that just for plowing.
yeah,
Not hauling sand, not hauling
no,
salt, because you still would need the CDL, correct?
I mean, I think we're all good on our salt and sand, correct?
yeah.
As far as what,
We're all good with our salt and sand?
it's all here.
Yeah,
That's
he did, he
all
said
done.
it is
Now he
fine.
knows
But there's no
that we
hauling
got it
needed
done.
there. The only time they would be out on the road with salt and sand is if they're plowing, am I right?
Yeah.
So that would be the only reason to have them out there.
Let's call people in, you're gonna call people in on a part-time basis simply to plow, period.
If I need to.
Just leave it.
I'm not saying.
Nothing's gonna do it.
If I have enough of my full-time people to put the trucks on the road, I will call in. It's only if I get in a situation where I can't put all the trucks on the road. Now it becomes an issue for the safety of the people in this town. Then I'll find somebody to put the last truck on.
the county roads. So this is where I'm coming
Still,
from.
still drag down county roads.
We still have to drive down the 29A as well, and we don't put our gloves down for 29A. So it would have been the same kind of deal, and would have saved you from having to get somebody part-time to fill it again.
No,
You
because
don't understand the time it takes to get it out.
Absolutely do, but we can disagree on
Okay.
that.
We'll disagree.
change it up. Anyway, did Kim go first? Well,
I made a motion for them to have part-time help as needed spaces just for plowing. Correct, Larry?
I second that motion. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
No,
Motion carries. Okay. The code enforcement officer was unable to make it tonight, so I've given this report to the board. Between September 7th and October 11th, we have 2 inspections, 2 meetings. He issued 1 CFO, issued 1 order to remedy, and issued 2 permits. 1 was a renewal and 1 was a roof, many calls. Board, have any questions on this report? The assessor did not submit a report to the town. I will reach out to him and see why. On to dog control, Karen.
Okay, I have been sick, so I didn't have, the good thing was I didn't have to go out and call. I received a call that 2 dogs that were lost. I guess one of the calls was on for 3 days, and on the 7th day, 1 came back, and the other one is still missing. I received a call about a stray cat, and the resident was told to call me when someone had Brandon. And the rest of the month was quiet.
Any questions? For Karen? ECI director has his report. It's due for July. The board received a copy of the justice's report for September, requested $438 in time. Historian, Moira, you're up. Thank you.
September 13th and 15th, I attended the Association of Public Historians in New York State conference in Oswego. This was really good. Good to have everybody and find out what other historians are doing. On September 25th, we kicked off our historical society with great success. It was a lot of fun. We had some laughs. It was interesting that we were showing slides, and some people recognized themselves in the slides. So that was a lot of fun. We learned some new things about the new building, and we had a great time. We had got some donations to our collection, which was really exciting. So thanks very much. We really appreciate people being interested in buying this thing for our collection. On October 2nd, Donna and I went to the first ever Fulton County Historical Fair. And that was a great success as well. There were about 100 people that came through the fair. I had a lot of interest from people outside of Stratford, on Stratford, and wanted to be kept informed of what we were having meetings that, that they would like to join and learn more about Stratford. So I'm really excited about that. And the back end of the day was that we were outside, our meeting was outside, and it was a terrible news. Like, we were very cold. But other than that, we were great.
Do you have any questions for me? I don't have any questions, this is just a comment. Yeah, that day was the slideshow and everything, and so it just brought back, since my mother-in-law recognized, hey, that's me, and that's grandma, okay, that's opened a whole can of worms, they're really going into things and digging back.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
Trying to see, yeah.
That was like Bruce Camp.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
hotel.
So I'm glad
They
that,
recognized all that. That was fun.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
all, yeah.
We're hoping, right, that this will spur more people to come and join us, learn about the history and share what they know about Stratford. encourage everybody. So we'll be sending out posters in the last quarter to, the sites to our. Clerk, do you have anything to report?
Well, I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce my new deputy, Ed, who is joined us tonight. Everybody, we like the opportunity to see government in action in the sector. It's been great having his assistance, and he has assisted me. We've done a lot in terms of trying to get the office better organized, going through records and whatnot, and following guidelines of the state archives as far as we haven't destroyed anything to speak of. We've thrown away some old magazines and things like that, fishing regulations that are expired that we found out there. But we have also isolated some vouchers and abstracts that are over 10 years old. And our rule of thumb, state archive rule of, we don't have to keep it beyond 6 years. But we said anything over 10 years, let's see if we can make some room back there to accommodate the other stuff. And we boxed it all up, it's very well organized, and we have, our historian has taken custody of several of the boxes, and there are several others waiting for her to give her an opportunity to review them and find anything of any historical significance or important. So it could be saved, and then, so anyway, that's, we're working on the files and everything else. So, only a few fishing licenses would be.
I don't have anything much to report. One thing is that the, ARPA funding that we were supposed to receive in August, we have not received. And I've been kind of going back and forth with New York State Comptroller, because it just taking a hold of anybody that does that particular division. I submitted everything to get the electronic payment, but we did not get the electronic payment, nor did we get a paper check like the Rosa, so I'm not really sure where it went. I'm working on that. Otherwise, it's been a while. On to financial report, I've given the board members their QuickBooks on the budget update report. Is there any questions? Brief report? Moving on to payment request, I make a motion to pay the October 2021 general prepaid and highway abstract. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, let's see, consider the public speaking at 6:55. If you want to come up to the podium, state your name. If you like the street that you live on, and any comments, that number 500, or you choose to not respond. Get on.
Just asking about. So we talked about, leaving the town to the cemetery, and you said it's not application. So just wondering, is that something that we proceed with? And
To the town board.
I didn't even, no, it was, I sent you a document that my company is in the cemetery, and just the town management to review.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this something that we could just pass a resolution? Or,
Well,
I'm sorry, I didn't get you to read it.
First of all, we probably should make an inventory of what there is, and I think you got to determine how they were used, and whether or not the town has to pay for them.
Sure.
That's one of the issues. And, I can't recall offhand, I mean, I think if lots were sold to the public, and I think the town has to pay it all to get to that.
I think also, we can adopt it, that if we do, if the town does take the cemetery over, that may create a non-profit for the cemetery, and I think that's the law. That's a consideration. historical
It's
society?
a nonprofit. Yes, or not.
No.
If they did become a nonprofit, then they'd be able to use the
I don't
nonprofit.
know, I'd have to look.
Okay.
Yeah, I also know it's so because it has to be cemetery board, you have to go to New York, State Cemetery Association. But I think what we could do, rather than having to do a collective. So maybe next time, what I'll do, I'll list out the cemetery, I'll see what else I can find out about things, and, I did, somebody did tell me that maybe there was some resolution passed in the 40s, in the town minutes. Possibly, so that.
Yeah, clear those out, they should.
So, I'll see if I can maybe this weekend and review that and see if I can find anything, because there was maybe something in the group that did say.
Now, you did write me about the nonprofit. Did you state whether you would be willing to do that nonprofit? I believe you emailed me, correct?
I did,
Yeah, that's separate from the town, that's
Right,
separate
that's separate.
project, right,
That's for the historical society.
right.
Yeah.
But if the town chose to do this, we could fund it on the historical society, yes. Or, I'm sorry, the new cemetery board, whatever the
The
terminology.
cemetery board would, I'm not sure, I'd have to look and see, I haven't looked at that document in a while.
Well, the only reason I ask is because we have an account that's been sitting for 20, 30 years from Middlesbrough Cemetery. And it's like, it's $2,000 to do it. If we choose to do this, then if it costs $500 to process a nonprofit, we might have funding already available that can incorporate all the cemeteries in Stratford, and then we wouldn't be out of pocket, but now we have a way to take care of our cemeteries and our history. So just a thought. You know, if we're not doing anything else with it, it would be a great purpose, and then at least down the road, they know who to go to for cemeteries. Right now, we're all in the air, we don't know.
And then there's some things that we can fix in some of the cemeteries, around shopping sign, and one of the things that we kind of think around cost of cemeteries is actually have to rent to clean and, keep it.
And because we are custodians of that Middlesbrough Cemetery savings account, could we gift that over once the nonprofit's been created?
There's some language about what's supposed to happen with that money, and I can't cut it off.
Okay. I was just curious, because it's doing it
No,
so
there's
good right
requirements
now.
about what has to, the law states what's supposed to happen. And not only that, you could sell lots, too, I think. In other words, once you take it over, you could sell lots for people to be buried in. So I'll have to look at the pamphlet that I gave you. Refresh my recollection.
Okay, thank you.
I'm lucky I found it. It took me that, how long did it take me to find it? A month and a half. But I did eventually find it.
There's a fund set up for it, right?
Which one?
Middle school.
Yeah, that's for, Henderson, yeah.
No.
Here.
I found it. In, Middle Spice Cemetery in 1980, my father took care of that. He got paid through the town out of Middle Spice Cemetery Fund. And, I don't know, there was a fence all the way around, and that's when I come home from service. I helped, I didn't pay everything, but, we had to trim along the fence and everything else, but the town did pay him for the Middle Spice Cemetery that come out of the fund that the town had.
I don't know what that one was used for.
Is there? Yeah, because he received a paycheck from the town to take care of that Middle Spice Cemetery.
I'm sure he did, but like I said, I can't tell you what happened with that fund 40 years ago. If that
Is
was
it still in the?
we still have it. Yeah, we still have it.
So the fund is still set up, so somebody can do that on their own, say, if I want to go do it, I can do it and get paid. That's what my father did.
That's a, the lawyer might have to answer.
Well, do we mow the cemeteries? Do you have cemeteries that you mow?
We mow.
The town mold.
We mow.
Okay, so the town must own it if they mow.
Right. But the fund that was set up, my father got paid through that.
Yeah,
But the town mowed tree and he mowed one, and he took care of the one.
Yeah, and the town of Fredo, they hire out. They put it out like a contract, and so many bids on it, and then the town pays that person to mow the cemeteries 3 times or 4 times in summer. There's like 4 or 5. So the town, if the town of Euphrates doesn't mow like Larry does, they hire somebody to come in and just mow the cemeteries.
So the town can still do that, but no strike?
Well, what has to happen is, like I said, there's rules about what has to happen with that money and how it can be used. I just need to look at those rules and see what they are.
Because I knew my father got paid to do it.
I don't doubt that, and I don't doubt that when the cemetery went belly up, that the town took it over. Because I think the town prior to it, they sold graves to the public. In other words, if it was a public cemetery, where all you had to do is go there and buy, you said, I wanna buy 2 plots. If it goes belly up, I believe the town's obligated to take it over and manage it. Am I right about that? You read it more recently than I did.
All right, anybody else? All right, I can report this weekend at 7:03. Any old business for the budget discussion? New business, I have one. I'd like to notify the board, I already spoke to some of the Lorraine. I think you're the only one I did not. I believe I gave you an extra copy. So we showed that we had a credit of like $250,000. While I was sitting down tonight, looking over everything to make copies, I realized that there was a revenue account in place. Once I removed that, it dropped it down. So we would be, for this 2022 preliminary budget, will show that we're 43,000 under the general and about 61,000 over highway. So that would be about an $18,000 amount that we would either need to pay out of our fund balance and keep what was presented as a 0% increase, or we could raise the tax. It would bring our amount up about $10,000 before we reach that tax cap, and we still would have to come up with about $8,000. Or if the board decides, we can hammer out and notify the public tonight of another budget workshop and try to whittle it down to nothing and try to get rid of that $18,000. So I wanted to present those 3 options to the board. And I apologize, I called up the bookkeeper tonight, Pam, going, oh God, how did we do this? And she didn't catch it either, so my apologies to the board, I thought this was all set. It's not bad, but it's not set. So, any discussion with the board?
I was going to suggest just take it out of the fund balance.
I know we've had other years where we've spent $20,000, $30,000 into the fund balance just to keep under the tax cap. So, and I'm concerned by just using the fund balance for the $17,937 and keeping the 0% tax increase to the township. I think we're financially stable, but we could also have another budget workshop and whittle it down to nothing and still have the same amount. So we keep the 0% tax increase and we get rid of that, because it's generally the highway that's over. So I'm okay with, as it stands personally, that would be my vote, to keep 0%. I think everything that Larry asked for in the highway was reasonable. And he's also gonna have a lot left over from this year's cost, especially personnel, insurance costs and everything that we're gonna be able to put back to savings account for highway workers. So $18,000 is, I don't wanna, cut off my nose to spite my face here. He's doing a great job, and the highway, we have to start making some purchases and everything we put in here, we already sat down and agreed on, so it would only be cutting back in.
I just feel that, at our last fund balance meeting there, our last budget workshop, I think we pretty much chiseled everything we could chisel.
I'm sure there's more to chisel. I know at a general, we're pretty tight there. I don't think we have much more chiseling to do at a general. We're already 43,000 under budget. So, it would have to come from highway is my point. And I'm sure that there's some areas where we could, but little hamstring, all the birds trying to, so I don't want to do that either. Because we would have to set the meeting, public hearing for next month's meeting. Just let the public know it will fall on Veterans Day. I'm not too thrilled about that either. However, it's not feasible to move it to any other date either, when considering board meetings, so. I'd like to set that meeting tonight, if we're not setting that meeting, then I'd like to set another workshop meeting.
I don't feel we need another workshop, that's my opinion.
I'd like a workshop, but I think I'll get voted down, so let's do that. I think we should keep it looking out.
Are you agreeable with how it's doing? Then we will set the notice for the public hearing on the budget hearing. If the board's agreeable with having it at the next board meeting in November, we'll open the meeting with the public hearing at 6:30. You should have the notices go out to the paper as well, here, everything else. Can I have a motion to accept that date for the public hearing?
I make a motion, we accept the date of November 11th for the public hearing and budget.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Does the board have any other new business you'd like to discuss? Also, for anybody who's in here that walked in, there's copies of the budget available on the table, if they'd like to take them, take a look. To any general public that's listening, if they just email me, I'm happy to email them a copy as well for anybody watching. The clerk also has copies. You come in anytime during the business hours. So, with no other new business, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:09. Are you sure? All in favor? Aye. This meeting is adjourned.
No, because you don't have.